Hello and welcome to a very special episode of In Conversation With, where I have two very special guests with me. Going into a major tournament and representing your country is a huge achievement for any athlete, but to go into that tournament and for the first game to be a competitive debut for your country brings its own pressure and also excitement. Especially when making their GB debuts at the World Games, I'm joined by Jess, and Elliott. First of all, Jess, welcome. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
And Hannah, welcome. Thank you for coming to join us tonight. How are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very good. Thanks. Thank you for having us.
As I mentioned there, you're not long back from the amazing experience in China, but before that, we're going to take it back to the start of the process. So, Hannah, with yourself first, we kind of spoke off air, but you'd had an injury while you were involved with the GB programme. But taking it back, when did you first become involved kind of with the GB Gold programme?
So, GB Gold, I mean, I've always been involved in flags since I was about 8 or 9. It's funny, actually, because I came to one of the training sessions when I was about 12 or 13 and just like have a little look, see what the program's all about. Like from very young I was there, and then I started training with them 2023. I was just in and around with the squad. Then I had my injury, of course. So I had ligament reconstruction on my knee, which put me out for quite a while. And then got back to training just before Finland. So like last year, about July time, I was sort of training properly with the squad and then made my debut.
So it must be a long process for you then?
Yeah. I mean, even when I was young, like I'm 19 now and going through that injury, but can still like get back and be with the squad.
Yeah.
Like I've watched it all the way through, like from Euros until Finland and now the World Games. The squad's changed a lot. But yeah, it's really good.
Cool. In terms of obviously coming back from your injury, then in terms of the selection process heading towards the World Games this year, how did that kind of work for yourself in terms of the process and getting into the squad and stuff like that? Can you talk us through what the selection process was like for you?
Yeah, so like I just was working towards getting back to full health and it was very competitive. So like this year alone, it's like the numbers of people at trials, and we had the talent ID, which brought a lot of talent in as well. So I was just trying to like work my hardest. So, like I was sort of like on the back from being injured. I knew I had to work extremely hard to get back to the level that I was playing at. Yeah, I mean, we had the selection camp and then we were training together, silvers and gold, and the new talent that came in. And then in, I think it was May camp or like June camp, they made their decisions on the rosters.
And Jess, for yourself, we'll come to the silvers kind of pathway shortly, but for you being the QB within the team, and obviously it's a very specialised position, and basically there is one slot available for a QB. It's not like a receiver where there's been a couple of slots. How would that process for you in the selection camps go for you?
Yeah, so it was crazy, to be honest. So obviously I tried out for GB last January. That was my first time trying out for GB, and that was part of the silvers last year. And then I was just coming back, planning to be on the silvers again this year. And then obviously Brit wasn't available this year. And so I was kind of called up, a bit unexpected. But yeah, and then obviously selections were made at May camp, and it's been a bit of a crazy ride so far this year.
So obviously you mentioned there about being unavailable. Obviously you're thinking, well, this is potentially going to be my chance then. So when you were given the word that you'd been selected to join the squad, what was the emotions for you?
Yeah, I think it was crazy because obviously coming at the quarterback position, it's a leadership role, and being one of the newest on the team, like it was scary coming on as the newbie, but also as the quarterback. But like it's a privilege to be the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, like anybody coming into a team as a newbie is going to be, I'm not going to say difficult, but they need to adapt and get used to the personalities. But you're literally stepping in. I need to lead this team, and I'm the newbie as well. It must be a bit daunting and exciting at the same time.
Yeah, completely. It was daunting, but it was like, wow, I'm here. It's very exciting.
Yeah. And Hannah, for yourself, and also working back from that injury and all the work you've went through over the last couple of years, when you get the word that you were in the squad, how did that feel?
It was amazing. It was such a privilege, like you said, Jess, to be named in the squad, and with my teammates as well. I couldn't believe it. It was just so surreal. And I just stepped on the field with all of them. It was a great feeling.
Especially coming back from that injury, though, must have been a bit of like, all my hard work's paid off, and a bit of kind of redemption for you as well. Like, I'm now there where I want to be.
Yeah. It felt like a long time coming since I've played the sport for so long.
Yeah.
And then
I think
had
the
some
good thing is,
setbacks.
obviously, being at your age, obviously, with that bad injury, it can be a long-term impact with yourself getting back so quickly, and still being a young age, you know, at any point did you kind of any doubts about whether you were going to get back or not?
I mean, I think everyone has those sort of doubts when you're going through such a like surgery and trying to be in the physio every day, and like you do have doubts, obviously, but I had a very strong mindset through it all, and I think that really helped me. And so I could sort of see that future that I wanted, and so I just kept working, and everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Jess, just coming back to yourself a second, obviously I touched on the Silvers programme there, but you've developed yourself as a QB at the domestic level at Leicester, and then obviously in the Silvers programme. How do you feel that the Silvers programme helped prepare you to make that step up to the world stage?
Yeah, completely. I mean, there was multiple of coaches last year who helped me. Jake, Greaves, Neil, like they all helped on the silver program last year. And yeah, it's a big step up from silver to gold, but I wouldn't have been able to do what I did without coming through silvers. Definitely not.
Yeah. And how important do you think that having that pathway for players across the UK can see that they can develop themselves as a pathway to represent the national programme at the top level? How important do you think that is for the sport?
Yeah, completely. Like Hannah said, like we've had some talent ID girls come in to train with the silvers, and like that's brought in loads more girls to train, and that's really good for the sport, like football as a whole, because you can see like we've seen how the numbers have grown just through camps this year, and like we train at the same time, so like they can see like it's great.
Yeah. And Hannah, if you look at across the gold programme, but also the silver programme as well, there's so many squads across the UK that are represented within the national programme. And also, you guys, the Panthers, won the title last year. Jess is Leicester are improving year on year. How important do you think having that kind of strong and diverse domestic league is to the success of the national programme?
Oh yeah, it's huge. And the league's growing as well, like the talent in the league, and from like the under 17 girls that are playing in Austria right now. And there's going to be girls watching back here that are also like younger than them or the same age, and they're going to think, wow, I want to do that. I want to be in the mountains with my teammates. Like, I want to be flying across the world, because that's what flag is. Like, it gives you opportunities for like going across the world. And I mean, in the league, everyone's looking up to each other, and yeah, it just like builds the sport. And with like the women's flag football league is, yeah, it's crazy this year, and I can't wait for it to grow even more.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, and I say this, and people probably watching us are probably fed up hearing me saying this, but what I love about flag football is it's available to anybody to play. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can go on that to a training session and turn up, learn the fundamentals and the basics of the game, and anybody can play it. It's not restricted to the top level in terms of fitness and athletes. Anybody can go and play this sport, can't they?
Yeah, completely. And the clubs are a great way of people trying out and then trying for GB.
So, it was in preparation for the World Games. You've had an unprecedented training camp over in Boston. Jess, for you, you're about to lead your country for the first time at a major tournament. How beneficial was that camp and getting everybody together and having the games for you with the squad ahead of the tournament?
Yeah, it was massively important. The offense had only played against the defense in camp. We'd never actually played, and we played against the Silvers as a gold team, but we'd never actually played against a different team. So it was great. We played lots of American teams. We played 2 back-to-back competitions on the Saturday and Sunday. It was so beneficial. It was the first time we were together as a team, and the team culture that we have is great, and the team is so close. And Boston was a great stepping stone to China, because I don't even know how we were in Boston for 6 days, 5 days, Hannah? It was so long ago.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
For you, as you mentioned there, you as a quarterback, you don't ever played against the Silvers or the gold defence. So for you to get on the field with your offence and run the playbook against people that don't really know what's going on in terms of the programme, so obviously you will know each other in terms of defence and offence, but to go and test yourself as a quarterback against another opposition, how much did you learn from that?
So much. And the tournaments we played in had different rules, so it was only 3 downs to get to halfway instead of 4, and it was smaller clock times. Yeah, it was It was different. It was different rules, but it was great. It was. I learned so much. Helped in China.
Yeah, I suppose it's better to try and do it with 3 downs than try and do it in 5 downs, because then your mind starts wondering, if I can do it in 3, I can do it in 4.
Yeah, completely.
And Hannah, for you and overall for the team, what do you think you guys all learned of each other at that camp, and what were the benefits of that camp for you?
I think we all got to know each other a lot better. So that helped on the field as well. One thing we did do, a lot of celebrations in America. Yeah, we did this. We had loads with Marky, like he was teaching them. We had this scrimmage against the Leominster boys team over there, and so they were showing us some celebrations to do. But yeah, it was really good. Like the vibes were really good. Everyone was just having fun, and like I think we learned a lot about each other and what we needed, especially in that environment, like a competitive tournament that we never really had together. So like we built from that, and we spent some time on like downtime. We were playing card games and we went out to eat, and yeah, it was just really nice.
Yeah, that's one I think is very visible from the World Games, which we'll come on to in a minute, is that it was a massive bit of fun. That's what I love about flag football. Obviously, you guys are playing at an elite level. It's a competitive environment, but it's fun. And you as a team, you could see you're all just having fun together.
Yeah, we love the touchdown celebrations.
But just generally, as a squad, you just seem to be having fun and enjoying each other's company and just enjoying the experience of being over in Boston, and then the same in China kind of translates across to that as well.
Yeah, it's lovely. Everybody gets on within the team, and we're close with the coaches and all the support staff. Like it's a nice environment. It's a fun, hard-working environment.
Excellent. All right, we touched on that he's obviously just back from China, so you went to China a wee bit earlier than some of the other teams. For yourself, Jess, in terms of going over there and getting there early and kind of climatising to the weather and the time difference, how much of a benefit do you think that was to the squad?
Huge. The heat and the time difference was a big factor. When we got there, it was like 8 p.m. and it was like so hot, and it was like, wow, it's like we're gonna be playing at like 2 p.m. and it's gonna be so much hotter than this. I think it was really, really helpful. The coaches made a great decision, and BAFA made a great decision to send us out there earlier. I think it helped us to acclimatise to the weather and to the time zone, because it was big time difference.
Yeah, Bob. And Hannah, for yourself, do you think going out early and having that time together ahead of the first game kind of helped you build relationships off the field? It kind of helped you going on in the field?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got to go to the opening ceremony and spend so much time together. Like we would go to breakfast, dinner all together and spend some like really quality time, and that built the connections that we needed to go into the games. And like you've seen, and I know Grace said it in an interview after, we would go with each other, and like spending time like Boston, we spent loads of time with each other. And obviously before China, the few days before China, the tournament, it was definitely needed. And yeah, great. Thank you, BAFA, as well, for letting us go out early, because it definitely helped us.
Yeah. In terms of the games, I'm not going to get into a drill down of every aspect of every game that you've played, but in terms of the first game, obviously for you both especially, it's massive. It's your debut in a competitive environment. Like, Jess, for yourself, how were your nerves going into that first game as, like you said, the newbie and the leader of the team?
Yeah, I was definitely nervous before the game, but I think as soon as we stepped out onto the pitch, when we lined up and our names were called out through the speaker in the stadium, all the nerves went, and it was like, okay, we're here now. It's time to do what we know we can do. Yeah, it was great. The first game was a bit nervy. We took the first half to get into it, but after that, we were cooking.
Yeah. And Hannah, you've won that first game 26-13 against Italy. How important was it to get that first win on the board early, in terms of how big a platform was that for you to go forward?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it settled the nerves and it showed us that we can do it. And like we made big plays on offense. Like we had great drives, the defense, we stopped them, and we worked really well as a team. And so we could go into the next one confidently and knowing that we could score touchdowns, we can make big stops, we can make big plays.
Yeah. And then after that, he's up against a team who are one of the most creative forces in the world of flag football. Like, I've watched Japan at Worlds last year, and it was just one of those teams you're just like, you don't know what they're going to come up with next. It was always going to be a tight game against them because, let's say, they're improving their creative. Hannah, how big a win was that? You beat them 26-24, but they go there and beat a team like Japan. How big a win was that in terms of what you were trying to do?
Oh, wow. We did a lot of prep on them because it was a team that, like you said, it was quite unexpected what they'll do next. And so, like, our prep showed, and we were a good team and we showed our best side. Yeah, it was really good.
And just going up against a team like that is very creative on both sides of the ball as a quarterback, how was it?
Yeah, it was hard to know what to expect from them. Like Hannah, like you've said, they did very creative, and obviously we weren't there when GB played Japan last year at the World Championships. We just wanted to win, and we wanted it.
Yeah,
And everybody
could
on the
feel
team
it.
fought for that. Yeah, we all fought for it, and I think you saw our reactions after the game was just ecstatic.
Yeah, it was a huge win against a team that is very much at that level where you guys are at and trying to get to the next step in terms of disrupting, as Jack said, kind of disrupting the order of flag football. Japan are one of those teams that are in that same group as you guys. So to get a big win over them must have been massive. And then the final game against Mexico, we didn't manage to get the win against them, but they are the defending champions. And just like how going up against a team like that they are one of the best in the world. Like, how much was a test was that for you as a team?
Yeah, I mean, they're the best in the world for a reason. We were going into that match. We just wanted to give it everything we could. We stayed with them in the first half.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Like the score was 14-13. And as all good teams do, best in the world, they upped their level in the second half. And we just couldn't match that, unfortunately, at that time.
Yeah. And Hannah, for yourself, you've got some of the best defensive players in the world trying to stop you scoring. How hard was it playing against them, and what was it like?
I mean, they were fast and they were physical and they knew exactly what they were doing at pretty much every point of the play. I mean, it was hard. Like, they're great opposition and it is a privilege to play against the best in the world, and we haven't done that before. Like, Great Britain have never gone up against Mexico before. So for us to go up against it was a good test for us, and maybe next time we'll win. But I think we have a shot. So
we left a lot on the field. I think that there was
exactly.
we left.
Yeah. And just as a quarterback, kind of watching that defense moving about across the field, like, can you see the difference in it? Is it another level up? Try to read that defense.
Yes, yes, completely. It's so fast. Yeah, they're the best defenders in the world.
Yeah,
it was very good.
Yeah, those 2 wins that you got early on did, but obviously everyone went through to the next stage, but then got used to the stage. We're moving forward to look towards the knockout stages. You came up against Old Foes Austria in the quarterfinals. Great game, unfortunately, running out of 40-28 loss against them. That did take you out of contention of the medal places, but you had to dust yourself down really quickly because you're then going up against Italy again next. How did you manage to kind of process that quickly and dust yourself on to get ready for the next game?
It was really important for us after the Austria loss to come together as a team, to rally each other, because we knew we had more games. We weren't done. Yes, we had a disappointing loss against Austria, but we weren't done. We had Italy to play. We had to prep for Italy. It's very hard to beat a team that you've already beat in a tournament because they know how you beat them last time. So we were just going into that Italy game raring, going to give everything we've got.
Yeah, as you said, there's plenty more football still to play. You can't get yourself downbeat. You've got to just like move on to the next game. And it's harder for me to say not as a player, but it's one of those things you need to kind of park it, and we'll deal with the disappointment later. Hannah, would you say is that kind of the best way to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, you have to just forget and like move forward. You have to learn from the mistakes, obviously, but you can't dwell on it because you'll go into the next game either flat or you'll be in your own head about it. So you just have to forget and learn from it and go again.
Yeah. So you mentioned, Jess, it's hard to go and play the same team again and beat them again, but he's beat Italy 35-28 on that game. You would then go on to play China and beat them 44-13, which secured the 5th place finish for you in the tournament. Now that you've had time to process it and kind of reflect on the tournament, you must have been proud to finish 5th.
Yeah, and I think the team was very proud to finish 5th, but we knew we could have done better, but we were very proud. We set ourselves high expectations. The coaches set high expectations going into the tournament. So we're proud, but we know we can do better.
Yeah, appreciate it. And Hannah, as Jess said, also, you feel you can do better as a squad, and I'm never going to argue with that with you. If that's what you feel, that's up to you guys. But how much of a kind of marker does that 5th place set? Bear in mind, people maybe don't know, World Games is the best teams in the world. It wasn't just a selection of teams. You were there basically with the best teams in the world. You basically said, look, we are the 5th best team in the world. We want to be better. So how much a marker does that set down going forward for the team?
I mean, there's only 4 teams that are better than us at the moment. I mean, we're just going to keep building from that. And we know what we made mistakes in, and so we can go away, learn from all of those, and come out a better team by the end of it. And Euros will show that we want to disrupt the order of football again.
Yeah.
So.
Excellent. So next on the horizon, we've got the defence of the European crown that you won a few years ago over in Paris. Well, this year we'll go up against Czechia, Finland, Ukraine and Turkey in the group stage before hopefully moving on to the later stages. What do you think you learned as a team at the World Games? Your first tournament together, you can give confidence going into the Euros?
Yeah, I think we're very confident now, and going into Euros, it'll be a lot of our first European Championships. Like having the World Games experience, that we can go into the Euros being more confident in ourselves, and I think we're all very, very confident in the team. I definitely am, and Jess, you can, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's super exciting going out with the team again. It's just a real privilege to do that.
And Hannah, from your own personal perspective, obviously you played at the World Games, that was your first tournament. What do you feel as a player? What growth have you seen in yourself in China you can take into Paris?
I feel like I'm constantly growing, through experience and having game time. I see more and I grow as a player, and I want to work outside of the field and on the field. So.
And Jess, obviously we've talked about, you've had your first tournament leading the team, it's on the bag, it's done, it's dusted, you can tick that box. What key points do you feel you can take away from your game in Chengdu that you can move into Paris and drive the team on?
Yeah, playing against the world's top best teams, their defenses, you don't get that anywhere else. Like Kelly said in her interview, football IQ experience is the one thing that you can't teach. You have to get that, and you get that through playing games. And we definitely got that in China. I got that playing quarterback in China, and we're gonna take the experiences we had in China into Euros.
And as a squad, what do you feel, obviously, as one of the leaders in the squad at the quarterback, and I know the squad is full of leaders, it's not specific people, you leading that team, what do you think the team learned about each other in China that will help you drive towards success in Paris?
The team learned a lot about each other in China. We spent so long together. I think one of the important things is learning how to rally each other, like after a loss. How do you come together as a team to pick yourselves back up and go back out and do everything you can? So the team is going to do that again in Euros.
Hannah, in the group stage, you're going to go up against Czechia, Finland, Ukraine and Turkey. Obviously, without giving away too much of the secrets, what are you expecting from those 4 teams going into the tournament?
I mean, every national team has grown in the past year or so. The whole game's growing, so I can only expect the best, and we're going to go in there how we've played before. So yeah, it's super exciting to go in there and compete against the best in Europe. So yeah, I can't wait.
And just as you mentioned, you test yourself against the best of the world. It's now slightly closer to home against the best teams in Europe, and without being too confident or too cocky, you must be very confident of a good showing in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Going in as defending champions doesn't mean we're not going to want it just as much as the team did in 2023. We want it, and the team is going to do everything to get it. And it's nice to be close to home. I think lots of the team's family might go out. So everyone's really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Just a point you made there, I'm going to take it back slightly to China. You were across the other side of the world at the World Games. How did you kind of cope with it? It was literally just you guys and the coaching staff. How did you kind of cope with that disconnect from back home and the time difference and stuff like that, Jess?
Yeah, it was hard because you're waking up there asleep and you don't get much time because you're training all day. I maybe spoke to my family a little bit for each day, but the team was the family while you were out there. And we're our family, and the team supported everyone on the team. It was great.
Well, girls, the Euros are just around the corner. We're not far away now, so we wish you the best luck at the tournament. Hopefully not put any pressure on, but you can get out there and defend that crown and give yourselves a good showing that maybe that gold medal will come back again with you in Paris. But thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hannah, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jess, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to watching you go toe-to-toe with Europe's best in Europe. For everybody that's watching and listening, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow on our YouTube and our Instagram, Facebook and TikTok for all the latest content we're putting out, and keep up to date what's happening with the girls over in the Euros and the rest of the squad. Till next time, see you soon.